Headless POV, cutting through the bull with information that's sourced and verified. Top story. Goal number 1. 6 months ago, the United States went to war to stop Iran from building a nuclear weapon. On Thursday, the vice president went on Fox News and explained what the war is actually for. Asked how it ends, he said this: "It's ensuring that the Gulf countries continue to send oil and gas to the world economy so that we have energy price stability. That's goal number 1. Keep oil and gas cheap for Americans all over our country." The nuclear weapon, the reason 6 months of bombing was justified to the American public, came second. His words. And then, obviously, goal number 2 is ensure that Iran never gets a nuclear weapon. By Friday, it was the White House position. Asked whether the vice president had the order backwards, the press secretary said both goals are equally important to the president. Not a correction, a ratification. It landed in a week that could not have been worse for it. Monday was the deadline. 60 days earlier at Versailles, the president signed a memorandum committing both countries to end the war and settle Iran's nuclear program inside 2 months. The Associated Press assessed the result in one line: the two sides are further apart now than the day they signed. No compromise on the Strait of Hormuz. No sign detailed nuclear talks have even begun. The president marked the occasion by threatening to bomb Oman, not Iran. Oman, a longtime American ally, and the country that has quietly carried messages between Washington and Tehran for decades. Its offense was negotiating with Iran over shipping in the strait, which is precisely the job the president's own signed memorandum assigned it. He agreed in writing that Oman would conduct that dialogue. Then he threatened to bomb it for doing so. It was the second such threat this year. Washington's former ambassador to Oman said he was puzzled. Look at what 6 months has purchased. Before the war, the Strait of Hormuz carried a fifth of the world's traded oil and gas. Last Sunday, 3 ships passed through. On Saturday, Iran's president said the world has accepted that Iran won. Tehran's message to Washington is to accept the reality of defeat. The pattern. Watch how the week worked. Monday, the deadline expired with nothing to show, and the president threatened an ally. Thursday, the war's purpose changed. Friday, the White House ratified the change. Saturday, the adversary declared victory. 4 days, 4 headlines, each arriving before the last could be checked. That is the mechanism. The announcement lands first and lands loudest. The verification comes later, smaller, if it comes at all. And by then, there is a new announcement. It only works if nobody keeps score. So we do it. Pattern recognized. The scorecard. The 7 core principles, published by the Republican Party, measured against the week's news. Their standard, in their own words. This week, one story breaks 3 of them. Principle 5, peace through strength. Their words, provide for the common defense and uphold America's natural role of moral leadership in an increasingly dangerous world. 6 months of war, a deadline blown, a waterway strangled, an adversary declaring victory, and an ally threatened with bombing for following a document the president himself signed. Broken. Principle 2, limited government. Their words, the Constitution provides for a separation of powers, with each branch guarding against encroachment by the others. The Constitution gives Congress, and only Congress, the power to declare war. Congress has not voted. Not in February when the bombing started. Not in the 6 months since. Not this week as the deadline expired and the threats extended to a new country. The branch assigned to guard that power has not guarded it. Broken. Principle 6, free markets. Their words, free and fair trade with limited government intervention. Read the vice president's sentence one more time. The first objective of this war is to keep oil and gas cheap. That is the United States military being used to manage the price of a global commodity. There is no larger intervention in a market than bombing one. Broken. 3 principles, 1 week, 1 story. They wrote them down. We're just reading them back. You've got the facts. Now it's your call. Subscribe today. See you next week.